what it means to be an innovator in academia versus industry. I don't think that the definition in itself is different. I think academicians have, by and large, I guess, less constraints on how they think about what they innovate in.
Our role as innovators in academia consists on bridging that gap between those ideas that are coming out from the labs or from the scientists and trying to make them reach the market towards these other innovators, which would be on the industry most likely.
Industry is more focused on coming products. So the challenge is to bridge between the research result and understand how it could be applied into a product. And I think there is some discrepancy there.
So therefore, the only way to cope with this from the industry perspective is to have a constant flow of innovation. What we need now is no longer an incremental innovation, but we need also disruptive innovation. So we're looking for the bigger steps.
The way innovation works, it's also changing. So there are trends, and so we have to adapt. So now we mostly collaborate with companies. We are trying to bridge those gaps ourselves by connecting the scientists or the science with the needs of the companies.
I think the scientists have a better grasp of what it means to innovate now, because oftentimes it's really highlighted also when they are asking for grants. The granting agencies are more frequently now asking the purpose for the research and how it could be utilized. So I think this is really increasing the understanding also among the scientists.
In Europe we have a growing sense that like the US-based scientists, we have to make more out of it. There's a tremendous amount of good ideas coming around, and some of this has real application.
I think there are certain phenotypes of academicians and academic researchers who have it in them to be entrepreneur, and many who are really outstanding researchers but will always be academicians. And I think there are people who have some of the characteristics that predispose them to actually taking the leap, and there are a whole bunch who are really happy to continue to do the science and the discovery science and not really do the company startup kind of work.
It's very difficult for an academic scientist to become an entrepreneur if they want to maintain their position in the lab. We still have insufficient mechanisms to actually allow for transfer back and forward from academia to a startup and back again. So I think it is a challenge.
Leadership is an important characteristic that they need to have, together with an understanding of the needs of the market and the needs of the different stakeholders. They need to be a good listeners.
Good scientists have a certain feeling that their findings and inventions then would have a real application. So it's not, let's say, finding the obvious, it's thinking outside the box.
I think the whole point of medical research is really to improve human health. And one very powerful way to do it is to make sure that the research results are being transformed into new products. And that is done through innovation. So I think this is a very strong motivation for scientists to get involved.